Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. My name is Dan and I'm the Sales Director here in New Zealand.
And I'm Anne Stevenson, Sales and Marketing Manager, Export.
Today we're going to carry on our conversation with a US-centric point of view on product. So last time we spoke, we discussed Mokum brand drapery and upholstery favourites, and today we're going to be doing the same with the James Dunlop brand.
Great.
So Anne, you've got a selection of products to chat us through.
Great. Well, I do. We can start off with the upholsteries. Predominantly, James Dunlop brand is a drapery brand. Mokum is predominantly upholstery brand. So they're a lovely complement to each other, Mokum and James Dunlop. So my favourite upholsteries from James Dunlop are these beautiful velvets. Now they are 100% polyester and they are very, very durable. They're commercial upholstery grade. Beautiful range of colours. They can be used residentially and commercially. There is a very low pile on the face of the fabric, which is perfect for a wide range of different uses. It can be top of bed, it can be a beautiful chair, a settee. It really is, it does lend itself to multiple different uses. And
so Vienna in particular has quite a nice dry aesthetic, which is nice. We have velvets with more sheen. This
Absolutely.
Product is more to emulate a traditional flat cotton velvet look.
Yes.
And with the attributes and performance of polyester for contract.
Absolutely. And I'd like to highlight these gorgeous colours here, the sort of mid-martini and the emerald greens. They're very on trend at the moment. We're seeing a really nice uptake of those colours. Vienna's been in the range a while, and then people were asking us for a drapery quality of the same sort of construction, and so that came to be Palatial FR, which we launched last year. And again, you can see that very beautiful range of colours, that very soft face. That's very, it's luxurious, but it's not over domineering. It's all the uses of Vienna, except that you can use Palatial FR for upholstery and drapery, and particularly curtaining. People love velvet curtains.
That heavy warmth.
Real drama in a room, some velvet curtains, particularly in a striking colour.
Perfect.
Then we have the gorgeous contexture. And I love contexture. Contexture came from our Complexity collection, and the inspiration for that collection was a New Zealand ceramicist, John Parker, his work. And John did a lattice bowl, which was very many layers of texture on the bowl, and that's what contexture was inspired by, lots of layering of the warp and the wet and in the yarns to create this. And it's a very soft hand, a lovely, almost chenille-like face.
It's got a lovely design to it. It's like a semi-plane, really, isn't it? So up close and in some of the tones it's a little more contrasting, and you get that graphic geometric coming through, and you stand back and it turns into a simple surface texture.
It's very striking on a sofa. We had it in the showroom when it was first launched, and it was amazing.
Great, and you've got a textured plane here.
We do, and as you know from Mokum and James Dunlop both do wonderful textured upholsteries, and this is Rhodes, and you can see it's got quite a dry hand, a range of colours. We know that designers love these textured upholsteries because they have multiple colour hues in the construction, and that allows them to link their scheme together with the upholstery. And Rhodes has just really been very popular since we launched it in the US particularly.
Being quite an exaggerated weave, it falls into that mid-century Scandinavian design, I guess. Themes, which works really well with, especially complemented with timber frames and traditional furniture.
Absolutely,
bringing that look to life.
Very much.
Great. So those are a little selection of your favourite James Dunlop upholsteries.
So we, if you haven't got samples of those, can we suggest you get them in your library, because they're winners, those ones for you.
Absolutely.
The next one is an all-time favourite of mine. This is called Envoy 2. Envoy has been a construction of the James Dunlop range for many, many years, but we enhanced it last year by making it a double wide, so it's actually 126 inches wide,
Extra
which is
wide, yeah.
Fabulous for those big windows where you just want that continuous look. And so where you use Envoy too is in the situation where you want a linen look-alike, but you want something that looks like a linen, but you want the performance attributes of the polyester so that the sun doesn't fade it and it looks good and casual and all of those beautiful things that linen offers, but you know that it's going to perform for you.
Absolutely, understandably why it's popular. And yes, used a lot lined and unlined, so can create a very nice mid-weight sun filter or sheer if you unline it. It's got a lovely density to it. And then obviously lined, it gives it a lot of body and warmth like a traditional heavy linen.
Yes, and
Yeah, very
multi-directional means it's fabulous for everything.
So something slightly more whimsical.
Yes, something slightly more whimsical, cincha. Now, within the James Dunlop range, there are quite a number of sheer draperies. You've got a very wide choice. And a lot of them are like this. They are textural on the face, double wide generally, and the price point is fabulous. A lot of neutrals. So this is one of our best performing sheers in the US market under James Dunlop, cincha.
It satisfies a commercial
Yes, it does.
NFPA's
701.
Yes, which is gives it the versatility of contract as well.
Yes, thank you, Dan, to remind me. When we launch our James Dunlop designs in the US, they're always pre-tested for the fire standards so that they can meet the fire standards.
Now we love linen, so tell us about your favourite linen that you've got here.
Yes, right. So this one here is Kyoto, and it's what I love about Kyoto is it's got almost like a Japanese, a very soft Japanese lightness about it. It's in a range of neutrals, fabulous for bedding, for drapery, for sheeting even. Just a lovely, lovely weight to the product and double wide as well.
Absolutely, it's got a lovely soft tumbled aesthetic.
Yes.
Aesthetic but also hand. And it's a very livable quality. It's one of our most popular James Dunlop double width linens in the range. And it's so much so that we actually expanded the palette. So we've got a lovely selection of neutrals, light neutrals I should say. And then we have a complementary hanger of slightly stronger neutrals into some trend tones. We've got the teal and this lovely clay, like.
And there's a blue there too, so it's gorgeous. It's just lovely Kyoto, and it's one of those workhorses that you can keep coming back to over time.
Absolutely. Now, linens can have a fear of, or in natural fibres in general, can have a misconception or a fear of fading, and Kyoto in particular is a product that I've got a huge amount of faith in based off experience with it being in the market. It's market proven, and the dye qualities that are used within Kyoto are fantastic, and I've seen it lasting a long period of time in very high sun exposed places and holding its colour fastness incredibly well.
Fantastic.
I mean, at the end of the day, all things fade eventually, I must, as a disclaimer, but Kyoto is fantastic at being resilient to the sun.
Fantastic. And if it's been in New Zealand and Australia and proven, then it's really proven because we have such intense sun, of course.
We do. Now you've selected Becloud.
Yes, now Becloud came from our Serenity collection, so I mean I think it's very fitting that it sits in the Serenity collection. Clouds are always gorgeous, and this one is a lovely 100% linen with a tiny little bit of metallic on the face.
Metallic foil printing, yes.
Metallic foil printing, yes.
Digitally printed on a nice 100% linen ground, and then with a soft, subtle metallic overlay.
Yes, just for that something a little bit different in a room, a bedroom or a lounge, and it's a lovely quality, this one.
Absolutely. And in the same vein, you have another printed
Erosion.
sheer that you would like to highlight.
Yes, so now Erosion came from our James Dunlop Alpine collection, which was a collection that was inspired by the mountains of New Zealand. And so this just is, look, if you can see, it's like the rock face, particularly when you get into those earthy colours there. It's a lovely, lovely sheer with a little bit of detail, a pattern on it. It's just for that, again, something a little bit different to add to a room. It can be lined or unlined, and
very simplistic in its colouring and very much so trying to embrace those those natural mineral tones that we find in the alpine environment
Yes.
here in New Zealand.
Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant. And so that, oh sorry, one last, lucky last.
Lucky last. Now
Last
this-
but certainly not least, this is a
it's
brand new
certainly not-
quality.
Absolutely it is. We're really pleased to be able to give you a preview of something new that is coming to the market right now. And this is the gorgeous Tactility. And
Aptly named.
Aptly named. Beautiful tactileness about this. This is actually, it's not, yes, it is 100% linen, I believe.
And double width quality, 118 inches. So lovely organic look and hand, double width quality. And that's sort of a boucle aesthetic. So we're selling
Yes.
a lot of boucles in upholstery, and so this complements that and brings that boucle aesthetic from the couch or furniture piece to
Yes.
the window.
It does indeed, and that's very popular trend we're seeing is that texture at the window, and this is very much in that genre. That was why we brought it to the market, and I think
Four classic simple tones.
yes,
Go
it'd be
from light to
beautiful
dark and
for
in between.
any use at all. It's just absolutely lovely.
Brilliant. Oh, thank you, Anne. That's today's session on the American market James Dunlop brand favourites. Thank you for your perspective, and thank you for bringing your market relevance to the show.
It's been a pleasure.
And we'll catch you again all soon. Thank you for joining us.